Welcome to day number 20 of the 30-day AI Automation Pro Challenge. The challenge where you become an AI Automation Pro in only 30 days, no matter where you started. During the last 2 days, I already shared with you quite a lot of experiences and insights into my own AI automation business. I shared with you 3 real AI automation projects that I did for real companies. And yesterday I shared with you my most important learnings and experiences that I made during my very first projects. And today we cover a super important topic, and this is of course how to get your very first paying customer. As I already mentioned earlier, my goal is to turn you into a real AI automation pro, and that of course also means starting your own AI automation business. Part of that are clients, and today we cover exactly that. During the next days, I will also step by step show you more insights into that entire process, how I acquire my customers, how I actually do my projects, how I spot potential in companies to even find out what we could automate, and so on and so on. So I'm not teaching you just N8N and the actual automation part. I also teach you the entire business side of the endeavor so that you're perfectly equipped to make AI automation your business. All right, that's it regarding the introduction. Let's jump to my screen and have a look how you can acquire your very first customer. And as I already did it the days before, I also prepared a little presentation to make this a little bit easier for you to comprehend. So let's get started. How do you find your first clients? The exact path that I took. All right, so let's have a look at my very first steps, and I will literally show you exactly what I did. So I'm not pretending, I'm not holding back. This is literally what I did. So let's get started. Number 1, I started by randomly calling companies in industries I know, and this is personal trainers and real estate agents in Germany, because these were the businesses that I operated in the past. And because of that, I thought that must be a good idea, just calling these people and just asking if they have a demand for AI automation. But honestly, the results were pretty bad. They didn't care at all. And maybe it is because I'm just a horrible salesperson on the phone, but for me, it just didn't work at all. And I called a lot, I can tell you that, but I just didn't have any success with it. Parallel to my horrible cold calling approaches, I also announced on social media that I would build AI agents for free for companies. And in my head, that played out like that. There are thousands of companies with a huge demand for AI automation. And if I offer it for free, there must be hundreds who say, yes, I'm in, please build something for us. I do a first free project, and then they like the result, and then I get a follow-up project and I make a shit ton of money. But I can tell you that this is not the reality. No one is waiting for you to start with anything. But this should not be a bad message. It's just the reality, and you have to see things how they are. I know many people on social media, they talk a lot about how easy everything is, but it's not. It's not that easy if you have no reputation at all. But I come to the first client, no worries. I just want to show you the reality, how things truly are, at least my reality. Maybe for you it is completely different. So I announced that on social media, and I got some introductions, but nothing really landed, because I think that here your reach truly matters. Of course, if you have 10,000 followers, or let's say 20,000 on TikTok and so on, the probability is just higher that the right people will see your offer, right? Because I just have a few followers on Instagram, and at the time I probably had like about 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So the audience was just very, very small. As I said, I had some introductions, there were some negotiations back and forth, but I did not truly acquire a first customer this way. But all that led me to step number 5. The game changer for me was contacting my personal network. And this time I'm not talking about just any personal trainer or any real estate agent. I took a look at my phone and thought, okay, who could I call? Who could help me out with a first free project? And before I show you now what I actually did with these people and how I approached them, I want to give you some facts why the personal network is so powerful. Number 1, if you contact people that already know and trust you, you skip a ton of steps in the customer acquisition process. Okay, imagine it like a ladder, and when you call someone that never heard your name, you start here. And if you approach a friend or someone who already knows you since many years, you start here. So this is a huge difference. And trust me, it will make your life so much easier, because the only thing that matters then is the following: what can you do for me? You skip this entire process of who is that? Can we trust him? Is it a scam? If the people already know and trust you, you just skip that entire bullshit. As I said, you start here instead of here. And now, very important, make sure these people are right to trust you, okay? I'm not talking here about scamming your people, about scamming your friends and delivering bullshit. Make sure that these people are right to trust you. And lastly, don't be that guy asking every quarter for something new. This is also very important, so pay attention, especially when you start out. You think that what you do is important, and yes, for you it is important, and out of your perspective it makes total sense to ask your network for help. But imagine that out of the perspective of your network. If you come every 2 weeks or every quarter with a new idea and you need help again, it just shows them that you are not serious about your business. And they already think in their head, okay, now I introduce him to another contact and next week I have to introduce him again, but with something completely different. And this is just very bad. It is bad for your reputation. So just don't be that guy, okay? Stick with one thing and don't contact the same people every 2 weeks with different things, because this will just heavily decrease the likelihood that they actually want to introduce you. All right, so what did I actually do now? My very first AI automation job was building a customer support agent for my ex-business partner. And this is also pretty obvious, but also something that many people might not even think about. Like, you probably have someone in your circle who has his own business or is working in a company that has a demand for AI automation. And I just recommend you to pay close attention, what problems do these people have, and then offer to solve that problem for them. I built that for free for my friend, but I learned a lot and it gave me confidence that I can do more. And I can tell you one thing, even if you sit at your desk at home and you think, okay, I will pretend now like I'm working on a real project. It is completely different even if you do it for a friend, because one of a sudden you stumble upon reality. Things like, I said that and he understood that, or I actually wanted that feature, but now the feature is doing the following. You see, you just get confronted with reality, and this is what you will deal with later with real projects. So this is already a very good practice for real projects. Next, I reached out to 2 real estate agents that I worked with in the past. For one, I built a LinkedIn scraper. This was also a free project, but as I said, also here I already learned so much, especially the entire communication part and how you set up such a project. Because you realize, okay, you need data from these people. You need access to their accounts. You need them to do certain things, for example, pay for a subscription, and so on and so on. And because of that, it is so valuable to build things for free for your very first close friends and business partners. So after these very first easy free projects, I reached out to another friend who is an entrepreneur with very good contacts, and that single call changed everything for me. So what exactly was that call about? He told me that he has no demand for AI automation, but he offered to pitch my services in a business network he is part of. And I will show you now my exact pitch that is also provided as free download in the resources in English. So I prepared such a one-pager, basically just one PDF that is summarizing what I'm all about, what I'm offering, what I'm doing, and a little bit a special situation. As I offered also video courses on Udemy, I also included just a free voucher to my AI automation course, and then I sent that out to my friend and I told him, please share that in your network. And what then happened was just unbelievable. In the next days, I had 14 calls in 7 days. I committed to do 7 free projects and case studies. I still work on some of them. Others are transitioning right now into paid projects. 4 clients already signed a contract for follow-up projects for $120 per hour. And on average, I worked 2 months for free for all of these people. And as I said earlier, I want to show you full transparency, and I want to show you the real numbers and what I actually did. I know that the big gurus out there, they teach you about don't sell per hour, sell big projects and sell 10K projects or 80K per month and so on. And I can tell you that my plan is also to go there, but I'm not fully there yet. But I can tell you that with a project where you get paid $120 per hour, you make good money. So this is a serious business, and you have a decent life if you manage to acquire some projects like that. But very important here is the following. You see that on average, I worked 2 entire months or more for free for all of these people. And I'm not talking about just a little bit of email and holding back and just being present. I talk about going all in. I delivered 100% without knowing if I would ever make any dollar on these projects. And this is something that I truly believe. If you start out with free projects, just commit and you go in and you deliver your maximum. Don't hold back, okay? Because otherwise this will never convert into real projects. They have to see what you're capable of. And I know exactly what you think at that moment. You think, nice Dominik, but I don't have such a friend. And this is probably true, maybe, but you have other contacts that are unique to you. And I can tell you that we have unique advantages and we have unique disadvantages. You have to play the cards that you got dealt, and now you have to make the best out of it. And oftentimes we think that we don't have any contacts, but I can tell you that some contacts are just out of your comfort zone. Maybe there is an entrepreneur in your network, but you just don't feel comfortable reaching out to him and asking for help. Or maybe your ex-partner has very good contacts to the right people. And I can just tell you, this is my personal opinion, if you truly want to achieve any goal, you have to forget about all that bullshit. Okay? If you know there is someone who can help you, you have to reach out to that person. No matter if this is your ex or whatever, it doesn't matter. Just ask you one question. Do I want to have my first customer? Yes or no? And if you say yes, it doesn't matter. Just reach out to these people and forget about the rest. Next point, people close to you can also make introductions to their network. Okay, so do not only think of your phone book, also think about your people's phone book. For example, if you have a friend who he's always hanging out with these rich people or with these entrepreneurs or with these IT people or with these IT students, just make an introduction, just talk to these people and just bring you in the game. This is the thing. If people do not even know that you work in AI automation or that you plan to step into AI automation, they can also not help you. And if you just reach out to them and tell them about your plans, the possibility is just so much higher that they actually can make the right introduction. All right, next point. Number 4, speak with as many people as you can about your new business, even with strangers in a coffee shop. Whenever I am in a gym, and I talk with a random person about the weights and about the training, and then what are you doing, what am I doing, I always introduce myself as I'm Dominik, I'm selling AI automation to businesses, and then you hear about the other person's business, and like that you can make easily good connections. And oftentimes it's not the person itself, but the person can give you another contact. And this is exactly how you have to approach that entire thing. Then the next one, also an easy one, whenever you hear others speaking about AI, join in. Maybe you are at a dinner party with people you don't know too well and you hear them talking about AI. Join in that conversation. Or maybe in a bar or in a coffee shop, you hear other people talking about AI. Just make a quick introduction and tell them, hey, I'm Dominik, I'm selling AI automation. What you talk about is truly interesting. May I join? Or you just exchange business cards. And if you truly do that and you walk around with open eyes and with that mindset, within a week you can make countless contacts that can actually help you out. And now the very last point, be always ready to pitch 24/7. You never know when a good contact shows up have a PDF, a landing page, or anything else ready to show what you do. I think the least you can have is an Instagram page or a Facebook page or your own website where you just show a little bit what you're actually doing. So in my opinion, this is super important. And also here, I want to give you a little example. When I was selling my latest video course, I always had a QR code to the course on my phone. So whenever I was talking to people about AI, I just offered them the course, scan it, they got it with a little discount. And this just made it so much easier to get the course rolling, and be creative. Also write a little PDF or download my PDF, the one that I used to pitch myself in that entrepreneur network. Just download it, customize it, adjust it to yourself, and then have that just available, And whenever people ask what you're doing, send them the PDF, send them the QR code, whatever it is. At the end of the day, these simple things are making a difference. It just demands your dedication and your conviction, and that you just go in 100%. All right, guys, that's it for day number 20, how you acquire your very first customer. Let me know in the comments what you think about my approach. And also let me know if you have other unique ideas how you plan to acquire your very first customer. It is already dark in Manila in the Philippines where I'm located right now, but we keep going tomorrow with day number 21. Stay tuned, speak tomorrow. Cheers, Dominik.